Sorrow is something nobody wants. And yet without sorrow we could not have understood true happiness. Sorrow is the way to real happiness. Nobody wants sorrow, yet without sorrow we would never learn to be better. Sorrow is a great teacher if you learn from it. It's the greatest curse if you don't learn from it. Sorrow was given that you don't stay here. That's why Shankar philosophy says, Shankar, Yoga, Vedanta are three integral philosophies. The greatest is the Yoga, the spiritual matter. I'm going to tell you why in the end. Shankar explains the doctrine of suffering. Atyanta trivida dukkha nivritti param purushartha. Param purushartha means the highest necessity of man is the atyanta, removing all suffering, physical, mental and spiritual suffering from its roots so there is no recurrence. Shankar goes on to say that there are obvious methods of destroying suffering. When you are physically suffering, take any form of the physical cures. They work and then they repeat themselves, those diseases again. If your disease is chronic, the doctor says, we can't do anything for you. But then what? Shankar says, then what will you do? The obvious method of destroying suffering, physical suffering, disease and others, is to eat right, is to exercise right. Most of your sufferings will disappear. To eat more raw foods, if you can do it. The most of this suffering can be destroyed, physical suffering, by the obvious method. To live natural, to live more outdoors. Simplify life. True happiness by meditation, and health by properitarianism, and disease lessons by character building and exercise, and mutual service and freedom. Then asana, by sitting still and practicing yoga postures. It's self-chiropractic. Your spinal cord will be loose and your energy will flow free and you will be calm all the time, as our boys are demonstrating. But if your legs are already molded, sit just straight. Keep your spine straight, that's all is necessary. Crooked spine means your nervous system, nerves are all pinched and the life cannot flow free to the brain. And that will be the cause of disease. Because energy distributed evenly in the body is what keeps the diseases from settling. There are virulent germs in your mouth, in your nails, but they don't affect you. You don't have to be afraid of germs. If your body is electrified, they will be electrocuted. That's what asana posture does. And the tension exercises are much better than even asanas, because they electrify the body. That's why God has kept me so long with so much work. Then pranayama, withdrawing life force, love God with all your strength. Withdrawing energy from the nervous system. That gives control of your life force itself. So that you can ask it to heal a disease, or you can withdraw the energy from the senses and cut off the world and have control over subconscious, conscious and the spiritual world. When I don't like this world, just in a second, my whole consciousness was away from this world. Because I wanted that way. I was just barely able to stand. So I can stand and go into samadhi. I have control of the three worlds. When I don't like this world, I fall asleep. When I like this world, I keep my eyes open. When I don't like that, I go to sleep by closing of the eyes. When I don't want subconscious, I lift up my eyes there and I go beyond the state of sleep. 1,000 million joys come. That comes by pranayama. That won't do just by a little mental chanting and prayer. You must know how to disconnect the life force from the nervous system. That's what Kriya Yoga is. It has been simplified as no prophet ever did, as Lahari Mahasaya and Babaji and Sri Yukteswar gave to the world. Kriya Yoga is the greatest way. Sometimes in the near future, after a long time, I'm planning to give Kriya Yoga. Watch for the day. But only those, it will be very strict. Only those that will mean to practice. Otherwise, don't expect to come. That's why we have discarded giving the Kriya Yoga for many. Many came just for the ceremony. But those that will practice Kriya Yoga, they will see how far advanced than any method of prayer is. All physical, mental and spiritual sufferings are destroyed by the roots. And there will be no recurrence. That's why Jesus proved when he resurrected his own body, he said, destroy this body and I shall build it again. That the nest of suffering had been completely under control. Jesus Christ was a great yogi. That's why from India came self-realization, by which you can understand your Bible and commune with Christ and God, that you may destroy all sorrows forever.